How to emotionally detach from your ex in 10 steps to stop the world from collapsing. If you're in the dark tunnel of a post-breakup, spiraling, where it literally feels like your chest is going to rip open, where your brain is begging for just one more text back, and even when you know your relationship didn't work and won't work, your body still clings on to like it's life or death, then this episode is for you. I'm going to walk you through 10 steps to help you emotionally detach, not by cutting off your feelings or pretending to be over it, but by slowly rebuilding your safety and your identity and regulating from inside out. Because detachment isn't cold or isn't just getting over someone. Detachment is extremely powerful when it's done in the right moment and in the right steps. It's actually a skill lets you feel grief as well without drowning in it. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Yula. I'm the Anxious to Secure coach, and welcome to the Anxious to Secure podcast. I used to be deeply anxious in my relationship always, not just in my romantic relationships, but also in friendships and with my colleagues and all other interactions which created social anxiety. And I always needed connection to feel safe. But through healing and to creating a transformation and to lots of self-work, I learned the skill of detaching in a healthy way by building true safety and self-worth from within. And now I help others do the same thing, stop chasing, stop relying on others overly for their value and create real security inside themselves, because that's just real security. Like, you can't chase it and get it from other sources. It has to come from within first, because detachment isn't about giving up. In true raw honesty, it's really about taking your own power back. It's empowering yourself. It's focusing on what you can control. Disclaimer, I'm not a therapist or doctor. This content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose, treat, or heal any mental health condition. If you're in an abusive relationship or dealing with severe mental health challenges, always seek professional advice. If this sounds something like you're interested in, feel free to subscribe or give me a follow, and let's jump into the 10 steps to detach from your ex. So step number 1 is tell the truth. They are not your safe person anymore. And that might really hurt when you say this to yourself first. So you keep spiraling because your nervous system still registers your ex as home, even if it was a very painful home. And the first step is literally telling your system the truth. They are no longer my safe person. They are no longer where I go for comfort now. Say it out loud, repeat it, write it down, write it in your journal. Reinforce this new truth to yourself. Speak it like a loving boundary. Boundaries are there to, to protect your own peace, to respect yourself, and not as a punishment to yourself or other people. Like, they are no longer my safe person. I used to turn for them for safety, for reassurance, to feel good. But now I am my safe person. I'm learning to become my safe person. I can come to me if I need something, if I need validation, if I need someone to listen to. So instead of telling yourself they are not your safe person, tell yourself, who is your safe person? Is it you? Is it a friend? Start with yourself first, and then add other people also into your life. Focus on other people who are your safe person, who you can come to as well as an addition, and to replace the other person, your ex who you just lost, as the anchor. If you tell yourself, my ex are no longer my safe person, your brain can't focus and can't really register no's. So what your brain is literally registering is, my ex are my safe person, something like this, right? So instead of having negative mantras, reframe it into a positive, like redirect to who is your safe person. Step number 2 is grieve the loss, not just the person. You're not just losing them. You're losing also the future you've dreamed of for so many years, about your relationship or marriage. Maybe you envisioned kids, maybe you never had kids. All of these micro moments you keep envisioning with this person, that's all going to be gone now. So allow yourself to grieve these moments as well. The version of you who you could have become, the us you pictured in your head, the version of you who finally maybe felt loved and chosen and good enough. And that is something that hurts probably the most. So let yourself feel it really fully. Don't try to drown yourself only in ice creams and binge watching TV and scrolling on social media. Actually allow yourself to feel it in your body and scream and cry and allow yourself to just feel numb for a moment. Let yourself miss the fantasy as well. Let yourself cry about what could have been. Then gently remind yourself, I am allowed to grieve my dreams, our dreams. I'm not broken, but I'm just in pain. And it's okay to be in pain. It's nothing bad. It's normal, it's human. This version of me who's grieving deserves to have compassion and not shame. I'm grieving the version of me who thought they needed someone else to feel whole. Step 3, cut the cord. After you fully allowed yourself to feel the emotion, to grieve fully, you will know when you're ready for this. Step 3 is really hard, but this is really essential. I did this right away, actually after my last breakup. This was essential. The reason why lots of people are not able to detach and keep reinforcing the old wounds and the old, be still mentally with this person, because like they don't do this next step. That is, they don't cut the cord. So you need to cut the cord physically, digitally, and emotionally as well when you are ready to do this, even before you're even ready. So stop re-traumatizing your system over and over again, checking in on their Instagram stories or on their post, rereading old messages, stalking their new partner maybe, or checking in if they got a new partner, and if they may be happier, if they've already moved on, sending them one last text or one final letter, hoping for closure. Every time you do this, your brain gets into micro hits of dopamine and hopes, and then crashes again. And this is a very addictive cycle. This is how the addiction loop really stays alive. So start a 3-day no contact detox. Even 3 days is enough to start calming the chaos in your nervous system. And don't even tell yourself, 3 days no contact. Because again, if you tell yourself, I can't contact them, you want to contact them. Reframe it to something like 3 days, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to start a new chapter just for 3 days. This is going to change the focus on you, on some hobbies, on something that excites you, even if it doesn't feel exciting yet. This will be very, very hard because your body is used to them 24/7 probably. They used to be there when you woke up, when you fell asleep, after work, in between, and their name in your notifications, their hoodie on your chair, their smell, their presence in your nervous system is like this phantom limb. I don't know if that makes sense, but their presence in your nervous system is like it's just still lingering around all the time. But to detach, you need to stop reactivating this loop no matter how you do this. So every time you check in on their stories, scroll their playlist and reread the last text and revisiting the places you really used to go with them and they really remind you of them. You are just not just remembering these moments, but you're re-traumatizing yourself in micro dosages. You know what I mean? So your brain fires the same pathways again, and it's literally like as if they would be there with you right now, but in a much more painful way, because before that you were in a relationship with them or you were married to them, but now you're not. And that's very powerful, that's very painful. But if you really want to detach and move through this, you have to cut the cord. Otherwise, it just keeps the wound open. And your body believes they're still your source of regulation, but you need to realize you are the source of your regulation. You are able and capable to do this. And this is really where people get stuck the most for months and maybe even years if they never really start to do this. So instead of checking their profile or thinking about them trying to dance, to walk, to shake it off, like an animal does after they're in shock or they want to reset the nervous system, shake itself off. Just move your body, mute or block them on their phone. You don't have to delete photos or rip them apart or destroy them, but put them in a box, into an archive, put it into a basement or wherever you have an area where you don't really, keep checking in on them. Maybe put the phones that are all in your phone in a different hard drive so you don't keep accidentally stumbling onto old pictures. Do anything that avoids them popping up constantly. If there were certain songs that keep re-triggering you that are on your playlist, remove that playlist or don't play that type of music. And over time, eventually, once you allow yourself to feel the emotions and detach later on, then these songs might be not as painful anymore. But at the beginning, they're still very triggering for you, and you want to remove as many triggers as possible. You won't be able to do this with all of them. Can't avoid all of the places. For example, if you're having a child and you still need to see each other and text each other, that is okay, but remove as much other sources as possible. And 4, shift the hook. What are you actually missing here? Ask yourself this. So you're craving them, of course, for sure. But what specifically are you craving as well? Because it's usually not just them you're craving and missing, it's what being with them gave you access to. Are you really missing them? Or the way they texted you good morning so your nervous system could breathe again knowing you matter to someone? Are you missing their presence or the feeling of being hugged at night so you could finally feel safe enough to sleep? So is it actually a feeling, a deeper down feeling that you experience when you were around them? That the action they did that created something inside of you, the version that you became when you were around them? Are you really missing the connection or the way your phone was lighting up with their name and how it made you feel, like maybe wanted or chosen or special or a sense of belonging? Are you really missing their talks or the way they would ask about your day, which made you feel like a little less invisible? See what I mean? This is really the real hook. So it's not really just them, but also the feeling of being finally seen and chosen and held, something that you've been missing in your childhood with friends in school. Maybe you were bullied and you were always felt like overlooked and not really being accepted fully. And finally, in your romantic relationships, you really felt loved and it felt like, emotionally safe. So here's the reframe. Once you know the feeling you're craving, you can start giving this to yourself first. Like if it's safety, for example, you're missing, like emotionally safety, wrap yourself in a soft blanket, like a cocoon. That's what, like, I love comfort and emotional safety. I'm a huge winter person. I have this fake furry blanket here. I always can't wait when starting to get a little bit colder here. Warmth makes your nervous system very regulated, it creates comfort inside of me and emotional safety. You want to really ask yourself, what is the feeling you're craving and how can you give this to yourself first? And you're going to probably think, no, that's not the same as if I get hugged by my partner or if they make me feel safe. But it will be over time, I promise. Of course, not in the moment you're really feeling deep down in pain, but with micro moments and actions and realizing this feeling doesn't have to come through your partner only, it has to come from yourself first. Over time, you're building more security from yourself, more self-worth. So you can also put a hand on your chest and on your belly and breathe slowly. Reduce, it will regulate, and you can tell yourself, I'm here for myself. I'm not going anywhere. I've got myself. If it's validation you're craving, write down what you did well today, even in the tiniest of moments. You really want to validate your own feelings here. after a scary thing or a challenge at work, you want to validate your own emotions first. Don't ask a friend or family member or your partner first. Validate your own emotions first. That is such a powerful skill because you are able to give this to yourself as well. Celebrate your own progress. Like, be the parent that you never really were to yourself. Tell yourself you're doing so well. I'm so proud of you. You can do this in the mirror. You can just have these thoughts every day through micro moments and acknowledge the pain without minimizing it as well. If it's a feeling of being chosen, ask yourself, what do I actually want right now? Don't say yes just to be liked. Don't just say no just to protect yourself. Choose you first, over and over and over again. Check in before you give away your energy to other people as well. Don't overextend. And if you would like to feel held or seen, ask yourself, how can you make yourself feel seen and held? Maybe it's literally just a self hug. Like, you can also do like a butterfly hug, interlink the two thumbs in the middle, and put the hands onto your chest, and then literally like tap the hands onto your chest, like one by one. First the left hand and then the right hand. It's like butterfly wings. This is regulating your nervous system as well. I'm going to go into more depth in another video on how to really regulate your nervous system through somatic tools like this. But that's one thing you can do. And then you're going to breathe in. You can tell yourself as well that you're here for yourself, that you've got yourself, and that you won't abandon you. And you're just going to be there for yourself, just even if it's just a moment, even if it's just like starting with like 10 seconds. Maybe next time it's like 30 seconds. You're just going to do this for a couple of times, and maybe next time it's like 1 minute. The more you're there for yourself, the more you teach your nervous system, you know what, at least you got yourself, and then you realize you've also got friends, and you've got a family member, and then you maybe got a coach or a therapist you can also reach out to. There are people in your life that really matter and that care for you. And even if one person leaves, it doesn't mean anything about your worth or about anything about you, and you can handle it. By the way, if you want help applying these tools and want to go deeper into this and creating a secure attachment style, for example, and if you have an anxious attachment styles, I'm happy to help you. I have the monthly text and talk support. So this is for you if you want daily or every other day coaching support, like through WhatsApp or Telegram. So I could leave you voice messages. So that's like texting back and forth or leaving each other's voice messages through WhatsApp or Telegram. It's very flexible. It's a month-to-month container. So there's no commitment to a long-term program. You can cancel any time. This is a type of coaching that is really powerful if you want to work on like either everyday or weekly challenges when you feel anxious, or if you're overthinking your relationship, or also if you want to create, longer term goals like creating secure attachment style and just want like step-by-step guides and talk to someone who has really been there and knows exactly how you feel in those moments. Because lots of people come to me, have already done all of the things, therapy included, they're feeling disconnected to their therapist, they're still feeling stuck because talking alone is not the solution. You also need to apply the tools like nervous system work, subconscious work, and all of these things. If you don't apply the action steps and only talk about this, you won't be able to really create a transformation. There are two different levels of support available for the text and talk support, either the 99 a month or 100 or the 199 a month option available, depending on how much support you like. The 199, so the best friend support, is literally an unlimited text support during the office hours, and the 99 a month is where you get up to 2 replies from me a week. And if you would like coaching calls included, where we jump on, like, for example, bi-weekly calls or unlimited calls as well, and we really want to talk face to face with me, I've got the monthly one-on-one coaching container as well for that. So if you're curious about the prices or have more information, check out the links below the YouTube video or in the show notes, and email me if you're interested to check if there's spots available still, or jump on a free call with me to check if you're really the right fit, because I really want to make sure before I'm offering this to anyone that we are a good match. Step number 5, how to detach from an ex, is name your core wound and realize it's not about them actually. So you might be thinking, this hurts so much, it must mean they are the one. They were my soulmate. They were the ones who are supposed to live and spend my life with. But here's what's actually happening. Your breakup didn't just create a new wound, it poked an old wound, the one that already lived in your nervous system. Ask yourself, what is this breakup actually activating inside of me? What's the oldest, most familiar part of this pain? Is it that I'm not good enough? Is it I will always get left? I always get abandoned? No one ever chooses me? Love isn't safe. I have to fake or be someone else to be liked. I'm too much. This is the original pain that was created years ago. And that just gets reactivated now through this thing that someone else did, maybe because your ex left or because you just didn't work out in your relationship. That means there's nothing wrong with you though. This only means this old core wound got reactivated. This pain didn't start with your ex or with a breakup. It started with a pattern that's been playing out for years. It started usually in a childhood. It usually starts in childhood, usually with ages 0 to 3 or even 12, because that's when core wounds are getting created and then reinforced later through experiences. So that is really why you feel like your whole world is collapsing, even though it's actually not, but it really feels like it. You want to acknowledge this pain and this core wound and realize, hey, you know what? What is this? You want to name it and feel it. And this is also the good news. This is actually your core wound. So your partner is not the enemy, the situation isn't the enemy, and this doesn't mean you're not good enough or you need to do something different next time. It simply means you need to work on this core wound and realize you are good enough and there's nothing you need to do different or prove or chase or it doesn't mean anything about your worth. And you have the power to shift this, even without closure, even without them, even when this feels impossible. You can say to yourself, this is my pain and I am now here and I'm here for myself and I can feel it and release it. I'm my own safe person. This doesn't have to stay true forever. This is more about my past than about my current pain. This is not just about my ex. They are just triggering this past wound. And this is also helping because just in thinking, hey, I need to get my ex back, or I wish you would have worked out, made you hyper obsess about your ex. But it's not just about your ex, it's much more deeper than this. And this is where your power starts and where you start empowering yourself again. Step number 6 is build micro moments of trust with your own body to break this addiction loop. So anxious attachment craves predictability, and your brain got used to getting hits of dopamine for them, and it gets it through these pings of a text or replies back. The roller coaster of maybe today they'll choose me. Without them, your system screams like, I'm not safe, I need this fixed. So we crave new predictability because anxious attachment was built on not being predictable, right? If your parents were there sometimes and sometimes not, there was a lot of unpredictability. So you learn you have to be hyper vigilant to figure out, are they going to be there the next moment or not? So now you need to be creating a predictability for yourself, a routine, tiny action of self-trust, like you're telling yourself you're okay, you've got yourself. So like you want to text them, but instead you brush your teeth maybe. Like literally just micro moments where you got yourself. You just do something every day in the same way, or you just light a candle, or you just journal through this instead of texting them, or you just keep micro moments of promises to yourself. If you tell yourself you go for a walk at the same time each day, go for a walk at the same time each day, even if it's just 2 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes, or create a morning ritual, even if it's just 3 minutes, that says, I'm here for myself, no matter what this morning ritual is. Again, put a hand on your heart and say every morning into the mirror or just on the couch, I'm here for myself. I'm allowed to miss them, and I can still move forward. I can still move through this. They weren't my safe person. I am. If not them, then someone else. If not now, then another time. You're training your system to trust you, not this addictive loop. And 7, rebuild your identity outside of them, outside of their relationship, outside from your ex. Because it's not just a breakup, it's that your sense of self was wrapped in who you were with them, who you were becoming in that relationship. What part of you got lost? Ask yourself this. What's one thing you loved doing before them? Start reconnecting with this version of yourself. You are still here. You are not gone. Because anxious attachment always loses sense of themselves in their relationships to others because they pretend to be someone else somehow. They're really not, just to keep others close, just to not feeling rejected and abandoned. So they think by liking the same bands as the other person or types of foods and having no special needs or no emotions and just to be easygoing, they keep them close and avoid being rejected and abandoned in the end. But in truth, you're just abandoning yourself and never really true creating deep intimacy with this person because they don't really know who you are and you don't even know yourself who you are and what you want after time passes and you keep just, ignoring your own needs and true wants and wishes. So a part of it also means to expand your support system now. It's okay to lean on others while you're building your own emotional muscles. Perhaps before you just open to one person, to your ex, right? They were your main person who you came to with all of your problems after a day, who you just had the most amazing time with. But now it's time to spread it out, right? Reconnect with old friends or with your current friends and connect with coaches or therapists. You can also do journaling and connect with yourself through other ways, through body practices, any way that makes you feel supported. One of my clients the other day shared me how much it was helpful during their phase after a breakup just to have me as well as a support, to be able to text me or just leave me voice messages whenever they felt very low and alone. Because after a breakup, you feel like you don't have anyone. You feel like the person you only were able to rely on, who was always there, completely gone. So you completely feel alone. But you're not alone. This is just a story you told yourself. So you just need to be open to able to reach out for people who are there. So just expand your circle a little bit and be brave enough to ask for support, even if it's just to like a little coffee date or even if it's just a text. And step number 8, be aware of the stages of a breakup. And that's very similar to the stages of grief. First, that you want to allow yourself to feel the grief, but grief is not the only emotion that comes up. So the stages are usually the following. There's the stages of denial, of anger, of bargaining, of depression, and then comes acceptance. And they're not always in the same order, but you want to become aware of what stage you are in to allow yourself to be in the stage, but not to be in each stage for like months and even years. So the stages of denial can sound like this can't be happening. You check their profile hoping for a sign and just keep being in this denial stage forever. Anger then might sound like, how could they leave me? You have this rage towards them, and maybe this rage will then turn towards yourself and you blame yourself for lots of things that went wrong. Bargaining is like, what if I had just said this or showed up differently? You replay everything you could have done better as well, for example. And then the moment of depression might sink in afterwards. And you will just feel the weight of what will never be and the future that just died with them. And then if you go through the stage, usually that's when the acceptance stage happens. So you're not in agreement, you're just realizing the truth. It is what it is, and you finally stop fighting it. And when you stop fighting it, you're able to allow the emotions to be there, and you can move through this with more ease and process the emotions. And this is when it gets better step by step hour by hour and day by day. And the more you become aware of these stages, the more you can move through them and give yourself and your body what it actually truly needs. And I'm going to in much more depth in another episode and really tools for each phase and what you can really do. Stage number 9 is practice rejection reframes. So the breakups hit deep when your brain tells one story on repeat, like, I wasn't enough, I'm not lovable, they were the only person. But in truth, it's based on this survival mode and not on truth. These are stories you're just telling yourself because you're in pain and because somehow it tries to make sense of everything and tries to protect you, right? So you want to flip the story into something that is a little bit more true. Ask yourself, what did I abandon in myself to maybe keep them? What red flags did I ignore just to feel chosen? What would a secure version of me never tolerate again? What did I actually gain now that I have space for more aligned love? What if this is the best thing that could have ever happened to me? Instead of maybe I lost my soulmate, try I found a version of me who doesn't chase breadcrumbs anymore. Or instead of I'll never feel that again, try I'm learning how to become my own safe person first. And that's how I create real love. Play around with thoughts that really feel true for you. Because if you only focus on negatives and bashing your self-worth, or you only reinforcing the painful loop and you are rejecting the reality, basically. So here's a little exercise you can do, a little journal exercise. When your brain is stuck in this, they were the one, or I messed it all up, we need to disprove that limiting belief with cold, hard evidence. So for example, write out 10 reasons why this breakup might have been the best thing that could have happened to you. Or write down 10 flaws or incompatibilities you ignored in your ex. Or 10 reasons why I would have kept abandoning myself if we would have stayed together. This is very powerful. Or 10 signs we would have not been good for each other. Or I kept shrinking to chase them. And this is how you slowly detach from they were the only one for me, we were meant to be, and I can't let go, to slowly detaching, realizing, hey, we were never meant to be. Maybe there's a reason why why we broke up, and I'm just trying to replay all the positive things that happened. Now you're realizing, hey, you know what, there's a reason why we're here, and you are rewiring your brain to see that. And the last one, step number 10, how you detach from your ex, is visualize your secure self. This is science and not just fluff. So visualization is extremely powerful. It's like rehearsing who you're going to be and the steps you're going to take next. It rewires your brain. So when you imagine yourself feeling grounded or regulated or finding love again, your brain starts building new neural pathways that map that reality. So try this daily. Close your eyes and see yourself waking up peacefully, grounded, feeling chosen and safe and loved. See yourself not checking your phone. See yourself smiling at your phone with a message from a secure, kind partner, or just being happily single as well. And not feeling anxious, not feeling you're not good enough, not chasing. See yourself walking away from breadcrumbs and walking towards a secure love. Hold that vision for yourself and repeat it over and over again, even when you're feeling low. Because with repetitions, you create new neural pathways. And when there's a right moment, when there's a secure partner around, and maybe your new person, you will be able to take the new right steps in that moment because you rehearsed these steps already. You are open for new possibilities. But if you don't rehearse these and you think you're not worthy of love, you're not lovable enough, you would never be open for these opportunities, and you will miss the person who's standing in line in the coffee shop. This is because your brain really needs a new future walk forward, or it will keep running back to the past pain. So let me know on YouTube which one of these tools and steps was helpful for you and which one sounds like something you want to try. And if you want monthly support from me, I'm super happy to connect with you. Again, email me or jump on a free call with me. I'm super happy to connect with you. And remember this, detachment doesn't mean forcing yourself to not care. It begins when the time is right, after you've actually felt what needed to be felt, after you've honored the pain and the ache and not really like shoved it down and ignored it, after you reclaimed your choice and not acted from panic. It's not about being over them or getting over them fast. It's about being with yourself in it without losing you again. And that's the shift that creates really self-trust over time. That's the version of you that really starts to rise again. And you're doing already so much better than you think. I'm so proud of you already. And thank you so much if you're still listening. And if you're listening on the audio podcast on Spotify or Apple or any other ones, please give me a 5-star rating. It means the world to me. And I'll see you in the next episode. Lots of love. Yula. Bye bye.